I know your dad built a go-kart from nothing, and it was going to be for your sister, but you grabbed it age 3.
Yeah, my father was a go-kart racer, not in a professional level, just just for a hobby. So he built this homemade go-kart for my sister, and she didn't like it. And apparently I was happy when I was jumping in the car. I think the equipment at that time, especially with my family, that my mother was working in a shopping mall, and my father as a mechanic in a factory. So we have one go-kart, one set of tires for the whole season. If rains, sunny, wherever it was the same tires.
Yeah.
We try to compete wherever the circumstances were, and try to bring the result home.
So how did you get from there to professional racing?
It was just a telephone call from Adrian Campos that I was running a team in World Series, and I remember that I answered, I love go-karts and I prefer to stay in go-karts. And they said, why you don't try and try to convince Campos team to combine. So in '99 I was doing go-karts and single-seaters because I didn't want to left the go-kart alone. I won the championship in World Series, and then I jumped to Formula 3000. Thanks to the World Series championship, I tested the Minardi in '99 at the end of the year in Jerez. And Flavio arrived in that moment, and he invited me to London to his house. And he said, look, Fernando, this is very clear. You will do this in this year, in that year, in that year, and you will come to Renault as a test driver and then race for Renault. Okay or not? And talking with Flavio, when you are 18 years old, it's always okay.
Yeah.
Flavio was a key part of my career.
You end up in a team that potentially can win the World Championship, and eventually it did.
Fernando Alonso will cross the line to become the youngest ever Formula One World Champion. Well done, Fernando Alonso!
I was 22 years old, 21 years old, and it was a fantastic time. The team was amazing. Jarno Trulli with Pat Simmons, with Bob Bell, and the group was just amazing. In Spain, the sport changed completely. I could not, walk on the street. I was on television every day, and I was 23 or 24 years old, so it was a big shock.
It was the end of an era, really, for Michael Schumacher.
I think some of the value of those victories or those championships just went bigger and bigger when Michael was there, because he was the reference, he was the big champion, the legend. That if you can beat him in those last years of Michael, you were just happier. So it was definitely a good time for us.
And then you decide you're going to leave the home of the family that you started with.
I felt that my time there was coming to a point that it was not more enjoyable, and I said, McLaren will be a good possibility. And in that moment, I changed my career, and I was hoping for better. And let's say we clashed, and not a problem with Luis.
Any particular advice for?
No advice. I think try to don't be too aggressive in the first corner and let me go through.
It was just wrong, and the high side of the team, that we were colliding sometimes or too many times, and we were thinking differently, and I was too young probably. I made many mistakes. I think in that moment it didn't work, and it was the best solution for all of us at the end of the year to find different ways.
You moved on to Ferrari, so it seemed like a good fit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed there. My time there was fantastic. With the people, with not only the race team. The whole thing about Ferrari, about Maranello, about all the people there is just a different world. After 5 years in Ferrari, they were not able, in my opinion, to produce a winning car. That feeling with Ferrari was that good that it was better to stop it there. Because, if not, I'm sure that it was getting worse and worse.
That brings us back to McLaren.
The performance is not there, we are underperforming, and also the reliability is not there, so we cannot finish the races. So definitely the situation is far from ideal. After 3 years, we're still not delivering what we were hoping for, and the expectations that there are always with McLaren Honda, we still not met in them.
Well, that was a few weeks ago when Damon sat down with him in Barcelona, but on Thursday I pressed him again about whether his frustrations had reached breaking point.
What has to change to keep you at McLaren?
We have to win. You know, if we are winning before September or something like that, that I will make a decision, I will stay.